Yeah. I've just made my social post.
And we're live. Hello, welcome in. Um, we missed a few weeks due to people being sick. It is that time of year. But yeah, welcome back. This is session 4
Mm.
of Shadows of the Crimson Moon, our Abbadon mini campaign. Um, yeah. Recapping last time, the party set out after hearing stories about a monster in the woods. Some of the knights and roadmen from the city headed out ahead of them on horseback. By the time the party caught up with them, they were being massacred by a possessed knight, who, after a short but brutal confrontation, they discovered that the knight was, in fact, Sir Finlay, the eldest son of the Lord of the City. And his last words to you were, brother, before he passed away. Assuming that you would have headed back to the city with the few remaining survivors from the knights that headed out. You've got a little bit of time to recover, to plan out your next steps. And yeah, so we will do a quick round table of who everybody is, who they're playing, and then we'll jump into it. So, Ari?
Hi folks, I'm Ari, Ariane. I'm the founder of Lucky Leaf Teas, purveyors of delicious tabletop RPG-themed herbal blends and tea blends. For this mini-campaign I'm playing Arnica, who is a hexing who has been cursed and blessed with profane knowledge.
Cool. Then we have Neil.
Hey folks, my name's Neil. My pronouns are he, him. I am better known on social media as the creator of Fae Earth. It's an indie TTRPG set in an Earth where the Fae live openly alongside humanity. And I currently actually have a Kickstarter, which is 13 hours left and is so unbelievably close to being funded. We're quite confident we're going to get over the finish line. I play Mokfiok, which literally means son of the raven, and is an elementalist from this area that was beset by demons, once a great kingdom and now in ruins, who is something of a scholar and occultist, hoping to learn the secrets that will help him free his land from the dark tyranny it's under.
Oh, cool. Then we've got Thundermouser.
Evening, I'm Thundermouser, normally on Twitter as @Thundermouser. Not that difficult to find. I'm playing Gwyll in this adventure, and I am a hunter. And I'm out to cause as much injuries to the enemies as I can without getting myself hurt. But the way we've been playing recently, I've been taking a lot of damage and I'm in the back lines. And as the archetype in the game, I'm the stalker.
Cool. And last but not least, Roddy.
Yep, I'm Roddy at PunkDrum77 across the internet, a common player here on Lost Haven Arts channel. And I am playing Sigmund, the Faithful, who is a member of the church, who is out to hunt down demons and heretics, and I'm the guy in the front lines usually, which all of his skills and abilities do reflect.
Awesome. So yeah, say a few days have probably passed since your confrontation in the woods. You're probably back in the safety of the Lost Lamb, which is the inn that you've been spending your time here in Stone Shore at. And yeah, there's a few things came up that you might want to discuss amongst yourselves. Maybe
There are
put
a
some
couple
plans in motion.
there's a couple of things I would have done in the preceding days then, because I'm carrying extra stuff that we picked up. I probably want to sell.
Fair. Yep.
Yeah. Also, the rough bloodstone that I picked up earlier. I got a shield last time that has a socket in it, just sticking it in it. 'Cause
Cool.
I do know from having heavily playtested this game that for putting gems into sockets, you don't need like jeweler or blacksmith or anything to put it in for you. You need them to like take it out or change it essentially.
Yeah.
So just stick that straight in there, and that'll give me +1 counter damage
Yeah.
on any counter stuff.
Any counter effects.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I've also just got a regular sickle and buckler that I'm carrying that I'm assuming was either found or picked up or whatever, that's just extra stuff we don't need now.
Yeah. So whatever the cost is in the book, half that, and that's what you'll get back for them.
Cool.
So do we still have the Outrider with us? I forget her name.
Was it Karen or Karen Karen?
Karen.
Yes.
Yep. Karen.
How's Karen doing? She doesn't seem to be doing great.
Like, honestly, I was going to say that on the way back, if she's willing to, I would have wanted to politely and quietly talk to her, because she was one of Lord Fenley's men, wasn't she?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, very close
Like,
to him.
she was a very loyal soldier of his.
I mean, given like the emotional breakdown she had at the end there,
Yeah.
pretty done close. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would be wanting to know how she's doing, what she plans on saying when she gets back, and if she has any plans, because this is a very serious accusation or a very dangerous knowledge we've learned. Effectively, the first in line to the throne of the city may have been responsible for the corruption and death of his beloved older brother. So yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, perhaps not so beloved.
Well, beloved by the people, certainly
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
He
Definitely
was
beloved by the people.
beloved by the people, if not his kin. So yeah, Macfeig would be like trying to ask her like, well, first of all, he'd be very conscious of the other soldiers there that he doesn't know, and like, how is she doing? Does she want to talk? What does she want to talk about?
On the return journey, like there was one horse alive when you finished up. Karen would have insisted that the body of Finlay would have been put on the horse.
Of course,
to
yeah.
carry it back.
Yeah.
She keeps a hold of the reins of that horse. Even like you probably have to camp at least one night on your way back. She stays up the entire night. She doesn't really get much sleep.
Macfeig would at some point in the night get up to keep watch with her for even a couple of hours, and if it's just the two of them, he'd use that opportunity to have a quiet, discreet conversation with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I want to do is, is he still in all his armour and stuff?
The armor's a bit broken and shattered in places, but parts of it are still intact.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd actually try. I mean, would we try to undress him and then cover the armour in a load of bedding, so to speak, so that when it goes in, he's not going to have anything tarnished, because the look of him.
I thought some of his armor was fused to his
Yeah, but once he was slain, he started to refer back.
Wasn't that?
I mean, like, profane or devilish to people see it, or is it just like he's been like painfully attacked? Because that's as far
The
as
metal
I'm
and stuff is twisted and warped.
Well, I
Not-
mean, McFeig would have no problem, and he'd say this to Karen, that he'd have no problem with them stripping the armor and offer his bedroll to wrap it in the Lord as a shroud.
He's
Yeah.
Yeah, just that we don't want to tarnish his image
Yeah.
or risk anything happening. Would put the family in a bad light with the alternative.
Also, if possible, my feel could be telling the rest of the group, let's like divvy this armor up amongst ourselves and try and hide it, because I'd like to try and examine it if possible to see if I could get any clues to its origins, because it was demonic armor of a sort. So, if possible, if we could try to, because like McVeigh's average height, slim build, he's not going to be able to carry a full set of plate harness.
I just kind of look over at Sigmund.
Like, just the practical. Well, okay, if it's demon armor, let's say 35, but still, it's more the practicality of
Just stuff
something
in
so
a
bulky
bag,
and
yeah.
cumbersome. Yeah,
It's easier to hide it between a few of you than it is to hide it on one of you.
Exactly. Yeah, but
The other thing that I'd like to check is there any weird symbols or herbs or whatever put on the inside of the armor that wouldn't
Not
normally be
herbs.
noticed?
Sigils.
Definitely, yeah. There's definitely like sigils, whatever you want to pronounce that.
Yeah, one of the learned ones. So if they've got any idea on it being particularly attuned to magic, or whether it's just sort of a defensive armor thing that is put on all armor.
Markfiak, this is all you.
Just give me 1 second. I was just going to say, do you want me to roll for this at all?
No, you have
Yeah.
occultism
Okay.
as a trait. Will points out the sigils. You take a bit of time to look over them, to trace them, and they are sigils of a lesser demon by the name of Arcan, who's a demon of wrath. They would generally serve like a demon lord like Glazia Labalas, like the Lord of Murder. But this lesser demon, maybe a position of leadership amongst the armies of the damned, but definitely purviews are things like vengeance. And it's probably a sign of the demon that actually possessed Finlay.
Yeah.
That this was the demon that possessed Finlay, and it's marked the armor with its own runes.
And correct me if I'm wrong. This kind of demonic possession, it can occur if someone's close. Was it that if it's someone who's close to death and has been terribly betrayed? Was that it?
Possessions can happen a few ways. In this situation, the dots sort of join up to come to the conclusion that Finlay was a man of faith, but realising the depths of the betrayal at the time that he met his end, he made a pact with a demon instead of going
Okay.
resting in peace, essentially.
Cool. So, well, I suppose the thing I want to know is, Karen, how is she feeling and what is she planning?
Markfiak, are you trying to do this away from the notice?
I would do this when everybody is at night, when she is watching the body of Lord Fenley. I'll be up for a few hours to keep watch with her, and when everybody's asleep, so we can have a private conversation, because I am conscious of, I don't know these other, I know her, I trust her, I fought alongside her, I don't know any of these guys. So very much discretion.
Yeah, and that's fair. Like the other two survivors are a lot more banged up than she is, but maybe it is just the fact that they're injured, they're traumatized, or whatever, but they don't show the same amount of respect uh, and it maybe leads you to suspect that there's maybe something a little bit more between the two of them than just being a good soldier. Um, and it takes you a little while to sort of get her to talk about how she's feeling. But it doesn't matter now that he's dead, but she'll admit her feelings about him, that she loved him, she cared about him, her position. She isn't from one of the city, and so there wouldn't have been anything more than that with the relationship. But she loved him. She had a lot of respect for him, and she would have followed him anywhere and given her life in place.
I turned to her and I said, his last words were brother. And this kind of possession often occurs when somebody on the brink of death has suffered a terrible betrayal, and instead of letting their soul move on to rest, they form a pact with a fiend to get the power they need to seek revenge.
Then you came to the same conclusion that I am, that Brendan is somehow responsible for what happened to him.
I mean, I'm not native to the city. All I know of the noble houses is what is said by the common person on the street. All I knew of Lord Brendan was that he was a dandy and a fop, quite different to his older brother. Never one who was destined or being trained to lead.
He would rather spend his time
It's a very diplomatic way to put it.
hosting parties and giving lavish gifts to the other nobles, which I suppose there's some purpose to, especially.
Do you think? I mean, look, perhaps he is just a terrible person who betrayed his brother because he decided he wanted the throne, or do you think there could be something else? Because I mean, I know very little about nobility, but I would have thought if you wish to have a life of party and revelry, then you don't want to be the ruler. You don't want to have to worry about the responsibilities which he will now have to do with his brother gone. But I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking things. There's been some strange activity, and I tell her about the young lad who was the assistant to the merchant, who was telling the stories about the beast and was killed by the beast, and how one of the noble families, I can't remember the name of them, began with a H.
Hutton.
Thanks, Hutton, that they sent men to kill him. I tell her about that too.
When you say that, you notice her grip the hilt of her sword. Brendan was never smartest of lads. Lady Hutton, though, is cunning. Wonder if Brendan set his brother up, make some sort of deal.
Perhaps. Or was convinced by them to do it. As you say, if he's not the smartest, he probably wouldn't have come up with these plans on his own. But from what I understand, the Huttons was previously the ruling family in the city, were they not? A long time ago, many generations ago.
hundreds of years ago at this point.
Mm.
It was when the king of Caerleon was bringing the smaller kingdoms into his fold.
Mm.
Don't forget they're now recirculating gold with the Hutton heraldry on it.
Oh yeah, I'd mentioned that too. Thanks.
Stoneshore being on the edge of that kingdom was one of the last ones to join, and it wasn't initially going to be a peaceful union. The Douglas family betrayed the Huttons to avoid massacre, but I don't think they ever really forgave them for it.
Well, a family as powerful as this, a bunch of mercenary adventurers, and no disrespect, a common captain of the city guard, we're not really the kind of people who can start going around making accusations with no evidence. Not if we want to keep breathing.
That's fair. I think if we were to uncover more information, it would probably be in the Hutton estate.
And that's what I was thinking too. My skills don't lie in stealth and subterfuge, but I'm not an oaf either. I do have certain tricks, but I was thinking the same thing. Perhaps our hunter could be better able to help us get in and out, find our secrets.
Probably be a few ways to get into the grounds without anybody knows.
We'll obviously take a look around ourselves, but if you have any information that might help us, sewer systems or such things that might lead underneath, that, you know, I'm not expecting you to know some secret magical tunnel into the Lord's master chambers, but you know the city better than I. And also, if stories are... Well, when we bring back Lord Fenley's body, the city will be ablaze with rumours. And there can often be truth in rumours, so we'll be keeping our ear to the ground. But if you hear of anything, you know where we're staying. I think it would behoove us all to work closely together. Obviously, I trust virtually nobody but my allies here, and we fought alongside each other. You've proven yourself to be trustworthy. I hope I have to you, but we won't be saying anything to anybody.
Take a few days, most funeral for his son.
Of course, yes. A grand funeral, befitting the heir to the throne.
Many of the city folk will be either watching from the streets, or the nobility will
I would
probably be
assume there will be
fighting.
at least 2-3 days of official mourning in the city while the arrangements are made, and then a grand royal funeral with all of the noble families in attendance. I would assume that kind of activity could lend itself well to us. Lots of people being very busy organizing various different events as people are going to and from houses offering their sympathies might actually make it easier for us to get into the Hutton estate unnoticed.
At least be a good opportunity to move around the city, snoop around.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too. So I think we have the beginnings of a plan, it would seem. If we hear of anything, we'll let you know. If you hear of anything, let us know. If we want to speak with you, what's the quickest and easiest way to find you?
Have a small. It's in the east side of the city. It's actually not too far from the Arcane Pact, the enchantment within Splintshire.
Okay, well, if we need to get a message to you, we'll be sure to do it quickly and discreetly. It's probably at this point that Karen realizes this is, without question, the most she's ever heard McPhee speak to her in all the time they've known each other, because he's generally a man of few words, and they've had,
or even just speak.
Yeah, it's like she's never heard him talking this much ever, at all. Not even in one go, but cumulatively, you know. But yeah,
just in terms of word count, impressive.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that he's like an oaf or something. He's just
chooses it carefully. It's all about time.
He's the kind of guy who very much he's one of those people who he speaks when he feels he has something important to say, and that's it.
Yeah, she'll thank you for taking the time to make sure that she's okay.
Yes. Well, then the next day, while we're traveling to the city, I will be discreetly pulling aside Annika, Sigmund, and Goyle and recapping to all of them my discussions with Karen and what we feel and what we are suggesting is our plan of action. While also emphasizing to them all that there is probably a massive target on all of our heads because we're bringing back the body of Lord Fenley, so whoever set this up is going to want to make sure we can't tell it.
Well, to be fair, the Huttons already have a head start.
Yes, exactly. So we'll need to keep our wits about us.
Quite. Doable.
With that, you do get back to the city. Karen will lead the horse towards the Douglas estate. She feels it's probably best coming from the Lord's own soldiers.
Oh yeah, of course.
And for adventurers.
For
That's a
mercenaries.
point.
Random people from the road.
Just while we're in that like little moment before we get to the town, I'm just gonna look around and go, do we want to be seen with the Outriders coming back? It could just be that they beat the beast and came back on their own.
They did all go. No one really saw us leave with them. They all did go on their own. Maybe they got back and saved the day. We could just drift in.
That's not a bad idea, and
Yeah.
If we really want to try and be detached from
there were 20 Outriders and only 3
three,
returners,
including
so
Karen, yeah. So clearly they had a hard fight, but you know, today's victorious.
Because it was probably the aim of whoever sent them out to get rid of every single one of them. All that. Yeah, and the Outriders loyal to the Douglas estate as well.
I mean, we can go in with by all means, but you know, if we want to be a little more
Cautious.
yes, quite.
That is a fair point. Like, the Douglas clan have a lot of men at arms and things like that at their disposal. The town guard as well are supposed to be loyal to them. But the Outriders are the ones that go out onto the roads. And they probably have the most. So getting rid of them is...
Yeah, town guards catch pickpockets and lock drunks up for the night. They go out into the roads and fight bandits and monsters.
Yeah, I'd suggest that now that the forest is clear, we sort of hide in the forest a little bit, well out.
We could just go through the outskirts and come through the opposite gate.
Yeah, but if they've got people watching the first gate and we're too close to them, they're going to be.
Oh, true.
No, I think Annika's suggestion we wait a few hours, and then we can. It doesn't matter what gate we come in.
Yeah.
Just take a long camp, wait a couple hours, and then in we go.
We go
"Oh,
back,
no."
loudly discussing how we found nothing in the forest.
Yes, we not a thing, not a hare, not a beast. Good heavens! Oh no!
All these
the
rumours
Lord
about the
Finlay's-
beast, and we didn't find a single monster. Oh well.
Wow! Oof. What trouble? What trouble?
Who would have thunk it?
Okay.
And that would be a good time for McCraig and that to explain his plan to the rest of us, so we're all up to date with everything.
That works.
Okay. Then yeah, you hold off a few hours, letting Karen and the remaining woodsmen head in through the gate. Break the news to the Lord. Probably a few hours where you hear a number of bells around the city being rung, including those on the Cathedral of Light.
We all come back in.
Oh, the
What
Lord Finley's been
happened?
recovered. What joy and tragedy!
Yeah, if you go to like the town square, there's probably a herald making an announcement. Like commoners are crying in the street, and yeah, like Finlay was a well regarded person. So there is a lot of both, because there have been all those rumours that have been circulating about things getting worse and worse beyond the walls of the city. And now the staunchest defender is definitely, like, it's already talked about that he died against the reality has hit. And that so many out of the 20 that rode out to go and deal with it, only 3 of them came back.
Yeah.
There's a
Unease.
mixture of sadness and grief and
Atmospheres like this lead to riots. Well, by this point, the Lord Finlay's body is likely with the cathedral, so that's there.
They'll likely be inspecting it for any signs of what'd you say? Middling.
Heresy. So on and so forth.
Quite. Yes. Your favourite subject.
Right.
Once those are concluded, on with the morning, I suppose.
So I did all the stuff in the book from what it would the sickle and buckler that I had spare in my inventory. Everyone gets 23 goats. There was a bit of awkward
Yeah,
maths,
no,
but
no.
I just did it the easiest
Oh,
way.
20 grows.
23.
how many days? Like, I assume you're going to take a few days. At least they announced for like the proper funeral to be held and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Would it be so? Like during the funeral is probably the best time for us to hit the Hutton estate by all odds. So yeah, we'll have to.
I
wait until then.
would also like to spend some time at the actual Temple of Light while I'm in the interim time as well.
Okay.
As opposed to just spending all my time at the Lost Lamb with everyone else, actually kind of be around the Temple of Light.
I think every like when you go towards Sigmund, you might occasionally catch Arnica just kind of on the outskirts of the hallowed ground, just kind of looking towards it somewhat wistfully.
Yeah.
But Never really much more than that.
I want to, while we're having the breaks and stuff, I want to go back to the big posh house that I saw those two guys going into,
Get up Huntons.
and keep an eye on that for a little bit, see what's happening.
Yeah.
See if I can pick up any information.
And I imagine they'll likely have some sort of wake or something to honour the dead lord. Hi.
Yeah, so there's like
It also gives me a chance to learn about the comings and goings on a general day, so hopefully I'll be able to gather numbers on how many actually are in the property.
Watch for a change of guard.
You said that there's the Arcanist of the city. Do they have any sort of a library or archive that I might be able to access to see if I could find out more information about this lesser demon whose name we found associated with Lord Fenley? Or is that even available to me as a random member of the public?
I mean, the cathedral probably has
Yeah.
some.
Temple.
the temple
like,
would, but
yeah.
it would be
You'd have to be in.
it'd be kept behind like locked
Yeah.
doors because it's profane knowledge. The enchanter in the city, it's enchanting objects. They don't really dabble.
They're artificers.
Dualism.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Would there be any way that like either Sigmund or I could get into the records and try and get something out for McPhee, or
Sigmund could.
Or could I get McPhee in?
yeah, I feel like
Could
Sigmund's got
could
the
I
best shot at it.
essentially- Like, because essentially my whole thing was I was going to go to the temple and find someone high up and speak about what actually happened out there. Because whereas we're wary of the nobles of the city, the temple is very much disconnected from that.
Yeah, it's yeah. So I think if you,
It was
you would
my
have the best
intention
shot.
to see like who I could, because like I've said, it's in the backstory. Like the high priestess of the Temple of Light knows who Sigmund is.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the most positive light, because she gave me advice and I went the opposite direction. But there is an established relationship there.
Could Sigmund bring me in as kind of like his friend who is more learned than him and could better explain what we found there?
Yeah, a witness.
Yeah.
You know, not just a witness, but like, oh, this guy is actually smart, and I train in hitting people. This guy knows things. You know, he's the guy who can talk to you and tell you.
Yeah, okay, yes, Sigmund could get you into the temple. Well, you're spending your time observing
I will.
the house. Okay. Then
I mean, once we get in, and if we're talking, if I am introduced to a senior member of the clergy, I will. I mean, if Sigmund says we can trust this person, then I'm going to trust this person. And I'm assuming that McPhee knows enough about the politics of the area to know that the temple is independent of the noble families.
yeah, the Temple of Light. So in Stone Shore, the cathedral there has a like the high priestess or the grand matron of the temple, and all the clergy answer to her.
Yeah.
But the temple here on the western continent of the world is a shadow compared to the temple in the Southlands, a bit across the sea. And she answers to that church. So yeah, they don't tend to meddle in the noble politics of the city.
They don't care about the noble politics, I
No.
would imagine. No.
Their role is greater than.
Yeah, exactly. So then, when I'm introduced to her, then I'll tell her about this lesser demon whose name was on the inside of the armor. Explain what happened to Lord Fenley. Before going in, I talked to the party and say, "Look, should I tell the matron that the Lord Fenley's last words?" Because, I mean, I know it's a risk, but at the same time, if some members of one of the noble families are doing things that involves demonic possession. The
I
temple
wouldn't
would
even
want to
necessarily
know.
say it's a risk. I just don't think. You're right, it would be best to inform them, and I think in a nature of honesty, they are likely the people who are forward, they're likely to advise, but with them being very intentionally disconnected from the noble groups, I would say you both don't have to worry about them saying anything, and you shouldn't expect
I'm more
them
thinking
to
of
do
them as a potential ally if things go terribly bad, that we will have already shared this information with them because, yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it's an obligation of the faith.
if something devilish
Yes.
starts to really
they
happen,
would, I
then
imagine,
they will
step
have,
in
yeah.
and they wouldn't care how powerful the noble house is if they're dabbling in these
Well, quite.
arts.
Well,
It's
Sigmund is looking at this as like Sigmund as like a committed like member of the faith is looking at this like doesn't matter what
Yeah.
disagreements I may have, but as this side of like kind of thing.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, if they discover that an entire noble house here is a group of diabolists,
Yep.
they will.
yeah,
Bring
that's
them
what,
to
that's what I'm
heel.
thinking. So then I will explain to the matron, I will tell her what Lord Finley's last words were, and discuss with her my opinions on what led him to form this pact, resulting in his possession. What this could possibly mean.
She takes a moment to sort of process. Think the Lord's son isn't really a man of faith. But to dabble with demons,
Truly being one of the faith, then there's an extra step.
Do you think he's someone who could have been led to this path? That is what I mean, I do not know the man. While I'm of these lands, I'm an outsider to this city, grandmother. But I'm wondering if he was possibly manipulated by someone more learned and more cunning.
I mean, hearsay certainly does not paint him as
there are definitely noble families within the city that the church has come into confrontation with historically. That practices, but we've had no evidence to pursue. Definitely, some of those families are led by more cunning and capable individuals than Brendan Douglas. Suspect clan hunting.
We do, based on actions we saw from men from that clan toward someone we thought was an innocent lad.
There's definitely
There was a since we came here, all we've been hearing of was a beast terrorizing the lands that had slain the beloved prince of the city, who was, from what I've heard, a great warrior and a great leader. And then a lad who worked with a merchant who we found out had been paid to start spreading this rumors of a great beast is nearly killed by members of House Hutton. The link was the beast, and we have now discovered that the beast, maybe not at the start, but by the end of it, was a corrupted, diablerized form of Lord Fenley himself.
As marking Sir Finlay is powerful in its own right. Not one of the 13 Lords of the Hells, but definitely a lieutenant to one of them.
Would have understood him to be some sort of a captain or lieutenant. So yes, with some power.
A man of Sir Finlay's faith, martial prowess, would have been a tempting host for such a demon. It doesn't, however, mean that that demon was the one.
Or perhaps is a part of the forces of one of the more powerful Lords of the Hells and working on their orders.
Maybe there's something
Perhaps.
grander going on behind the scene. All the noble families within the city will be occupied a banquet within his own estate.
I assume there would be several official days of mourning with funeral rites and celebrations of remembrance of the life of Lord Fenley before he is laid to rest. Which will make these lords and ladies very busy, because they'll all want to be seen to be prostrating themselves in sorrow at the death of the Lord.
Everyone within the city will be busy. And keeping an eye for those that do not attend to pay their respects to the Lord. Probably wise. There will be members of the faith, myself included, at this banquet. We can keep an eye on Brendan, at least. Yes, safe bet that the brother of...
Honestly, I'd be shocked if representatives of all the families are not in attendance, because to not attend would look terrible and potentially rouse suspicion as well.
It would be an opportune time for interested parties to investigate
We were
the
thinking the
hut
same
estate.
thing, grandmother. And obviously, if we do find any distressing information, we will be sure to share it with you. Because while I am not an ardent member of the faith, I am. These are my lands, and I have seen the plagues of the fiends and the devils, and I have dedicated my life to studying and fighting this evil myself in my own personal way, while trying to support the church.
Then, suppose you and your companions will be looking for a way into this.
Well, yes, I don't suppose you happen to have a key to a secret door.
Can tell you that many of the noble families have crypts. It's just the the graveyard
Yes.
across the street.
Mhm.
It's quite a large. It takes up quite a large chunk
okay.
of the city,
Excuse me.
and oh yeah,
Yes.
one for each of the noble houses. These nobles sometimes had tunnels created leading from the family crypt with their own estate.
Escape routes and so on, usually.
It would make sense. The
Should,
cemetery is so close to the Temple of Light that if the clans were ever declaiming safety within the halls of the temple,
yeah, they always want sanctuary when the tide shoots them, don't they?
Would it be worth investigating the crypt of the
I believe
the lot that we're
we will
interested in?
be investigating the Hutton Crypt this evening, I think, when it is dark.
while McPhee and Sigmund, you're here having conversation with the Grand Matron of the Temple of Light. While you are observing the house that you went to, and something unexpected. You watch both the side entrance, but the servant's entrance that you'd followed two individuals to a few nights ago. But you're also keeping your eye on the main, and to your surprise, a young nobleman with long, coppery red hair that's tied back. He's wearing the livery and colours of Clan Douglas. Arrives, Eddas and Douglas men, wearing the sort of tartan cloaks, wearing the badges that have the seahorse of the clan blazoned on them, all bearing fine swords and other equipment. And he, instead of heading for the entrance gate and the alleyway,
Make sure I'm hidden so they don't see me.
give me a dexterity.
Okay then. First roll of the night. And how many cards
Three.
is that? I've got one index.
Do you have any traits that would add to it?
Hunter and Fletcher,
Well,
I think. Yeah, nah,
yeah.
neither of those.
No. Now, when I played a Stalker before, I literally just had Stealthy as one of my traits. So,
Ooh, this is not good.
which Andy regretted letting me do when I snuck up on 3 different encounters in the one dungeon.
Wise.
I think I'm going to have to push my luck on this,
Ooh.
looking at what I drew.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, yep, there you go. You've got 13 with Pushing Fate.
Yep.
Nice.
So, you sort of see the group coming, you push yourself back into one of the gaps between the houses across the way from the estate. And you feel a moment, maybe discomfort, as one or two of the men in attendance with this young noble looks across the street, almost directly at you. But just as they're about to sort of settle eyes onto where you're hiding, the servants' gate swings opened, pulling their attention from you back to their lord, just in time to avoid taking notice of you.
Right, is there any names getting mentioned when gates getting opened and what have you.
No
Like in
names.
Earwig.
No names being mentioned.
I do make a good note of the guy's description so that I can tell the others and maybe hope to get an identification on exactly who this guy is, although I think we all suspect we know which one it is. I wouldn't think it would be normal for a noble to visit the other houses to inform them of the death of his brother. They'd normally just send out a herald, I would assume. So I find this very suspicious, so I'm making notes of it. And are there any familiar faces amongst the Douglas clan?
Maybe in passing, one or two faces that you recognise from watching the gate. Not any roadmen, but like definitely like some of the interactions that you've had with the gate captain and stuff when you brought back the bandit scalps and stuff. You vaguely recognise one or two of the faces as being on duty from that point in time. Maybe from your strolls around the city while you and your companions have been taking some time to rest. No names, no one hugely important, but definitely one or two familiar faces.
Yeah, with the Douglases being in charge of the city, and we've likely visited a fair number of places where of importance. Have there been any portraits of the Douglas nobles?
Not really, no. You'd imagine that any portraits and stuff would have been kept to like the actual estate itself.
Yeah, just with them being leaders of the city, I didn't know if they might have had their faces up in the library or something like that.
Maybe some resemblance to the profile on the back of any coins that you've had from the city.
Is the guy that's leading them looking a lot like the dead brother we just brought back?
There's some similarities in maybe the shape of the nose and the hair colour, definitely.
Yeah, but isn't that hair colour pretty damn common amongst the people of this region?
Not a lot of people in the area have, if they've got red hair, it tends to be a darker shade. This is like a strawberry blonde, like really polished, coppery looking shade of red hair. And you've seen maybe a few people with that hair colour, but not quite as common. It's not like a really unnatural hair colour, like it's not like someone having green hair or something like that, which would be very unusual. But
we're not settling an enemy.
I'm definitely going to make my notes on this and make notes of any scars on the face or anything that could be used as an identifier. Rough guess at his height, the lot.
yeah, you reckon he is fairly tall. He's maybe 6 footish. Young, definitely carries himself with a level of charm and arrogance. Even when the side door, the way sort of reacts to the person opening the gate to him is definitely very arrogant. He's handsome. Maybe too handsome, like uncomfortably, like.
Right, I'm making note of this because I really don't understand why if it is the brother, I suspect it probably is, which will hopefully get confirmed by a certain rider at some point. It's very interesting as to why the hell he'd be going around the back of a house when, for the news he should be bringing, it'd be a front door job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to basically watch what happens, find out how long they're in there for, but make sure I don't get seen whatsoever.
Okay. You're waiting
to the rest of the crew, they know everything.
You're waiting for quite a bit of time. Like the sun's already set. The street lights are lit by lantern light and candle light that's coming through windows. Like there are lanterns that light the streets, especially in this part of the city. They've already been lit. And there's still that kind of eerie red colour from the moon. As it gets wider, it grows, starting to change into a full moon that bathes the street. When that young nobleman leaves for the front gate, and instead of the he would have had with him, only 4 of them come out, but there's something different.
Are they looking a bit dishevelled, like they've been stabbing people?
No, the 4 soldiers that have came out have their hoods pulled up, even though it's dry this particular evening. And underneath the hoods, you can just about catch the red reflection of the moon shimmering off of masks.
I'm super curious now. I've got to see where they're going.
He was already carrying himself with a degree of arrogance, but that seems to be elevated, and you can't quite tell how. But there is a smell in the air.
Herbs or incense, cologne. Heard that one. Yeah, just going to follow them, see where they go. But keep them far enough back that I'm not going to get easily spotted.
I'm taking another stealth.
Okay, so it's 3 cards again.
Yep.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Draw 3. Try that again.
There you go. You've got 3 cards. You're all good.
Okay, X that off. Right, we got that one.
Yeah,
Can't make out if that's a queen.
Diamonds.
4 diamonds.
There we go. And a 9. So we do up to 13,
Yeah,
so we're
13.
covered.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we've actually got 2 successes in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Perfect. Yeah, okay. You follow them for a while. And maybe you are, maybe you're not surprised that they head to the grand estate that belongs to the ruling family of the city. The guards at the front gates of the Douglas estate step aside. Welcome back, my lord. Our sincerest apologies and condolences for the death of your brother. Your lord father is awaiting you. Tonight is the night that the family members say their last respects before the temple take the body to begin cleansing it and purifying it for burial.
So what's happening with the others with him? With the masks on?
It's like the guards at the gate don't even seem to acknowledge.
Is this a common sort of bereavement ritual or something?
No,
The
masks are not a common bereavement symbol in the city. The guards in front of the gate, all of their attention seems to be entirely on the young lords, where to the point where they're almost overlooking the 4 guards that are with them.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on them until they go in the house.
He doesn't even acknowledge their condolences, he just sort of strides past and then the guards on the gate close it.
Right, is it obvious what the masks are made of?
Definitely a metal. Definitely had that metallic sheen.
Were they all made by the same sort of craftsperson looking at them, or would you say it was made by, are they, or is it just something that anyone, I'm assuming it's not something anyone could make?
Make out of them, which is maybe from the bottom half of the face. They were all identical masks. And all shape like a big beautiful visage, but they're all identical.
It doesn't look like any particular god or demon or anything like that.
That'd be a wisdom test.
Yep.
Tell you what, that's the question, isn't it? Well, I've made notes of it, so I can always pass the information on for somebody else, but I do have one in wisdom, so...
Give it a shot. You're as wise as I am.
3 cards for wisdom.
Will's loving the cards tonight. Well, hey!
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Oh,
Whoa! Steady
And
up!
I think I've got
two
two.
kings,
I think
yeah.
I've probably got my king set
one
then.
of them's your suit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
Outstanding.
essentially make up to being 6 successes.
That is the result you wanted.
You don't quite know how, you know.
The ancient stories your mother used to tell you to make you go to bed type stuff.
Yeah, like you recall
What
some
we're getting.
information from somewhere at some point. Maybe it's something that you heard as a young lad from the faithful in the temple, or a bedtime story made to frighten you or unsettle you from your parents when you were a lad. But you recall tales of one of the 13 lords of hell. The demon lord Orobas, who goes by many titles: the Beautiful Sin, the Lovely Lax One, the Shining Soul of Hell, the Lord of Apathy and Vanity, the Lord of Envy,
Now
Desire, many other titles.
Yeah.
And how this demon is so vain that all of the lesser demons who attend him all wear masks that resemble his own face, so that he can always look upon his own visage.
Oh, so he's vain then.
And
Right, well, in this case, I think I'll be scooting back. And
Yeah,
making sure I pass this all on to those that are going to know way more about this stuff than me.
you and the rest of the party can reconvene at the inn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any extra information? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that was you're fairly sure that these masks have something to do with the demon lord Orobas. Even actually with so many levels of success, the level of confidence radiating from the young lord when he left the hut in the state sends a shiver up your spine and makes you feel very uncomfortable, as if you've been close to something that no mortal should be close to.
Is Orberus a guy that likes blood sacrifices?
Kind of. Oribus likes to be offered things from people that don't actually belong to them, things that they desire.
Right. Yeah. Well, when I get back to the inn, I'm going to be passing all this information on to the more knowledgeable priestly and people than me, so that they can then take it off to whichever bit of whoever they feel that needs to know this information about the sun, and hopefully use it as a bargaining chip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you all reconvene at the inn, you pass that information on.
Yeah, this is being done secretly in one of the bedrooms. I don't want anybody else overhearing this stuff, because I'm now getting more and more paranoid as we're going on.
Oh yeah, you had a very close call in that alleyway, you feel being spotted. Maybe to the point where you're not 100% sure if they did spot you or not.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking things very careful from now on. So yeah, hopefully that's of use to the gentlemen and the ladies.
Do you? Oh yeah, you can get rid of that point of stress as well, that you have because you got your king success. Although, considering what you've seen,
Yeah, I think I've just got it back
Take
again.
5 stress.
okay. So yeah, you've all reconvened. Information has been passed. This actually seems like a good point to take a quick 5 or 10 minute break.
Yep.
So yeah, anybody who's lurking or hanging around the chat, we'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. After we will get some water, go to the bathroom, make yourself stretch your legs, all that sort of stuff, and then we'll jump back in.
Yeah.
See you soon. Yeah, welcome back. So yeah, you guys just uncovered
The
a
plot,
lot of information actually about
the plot doth
the
thicken.
plot. Yeah.
Yes.
We keep getting like cracked icebergs by Gwyll just going and watching this house. He's really solving problems here.
It's like it very much feels like, you know, you've got McFeac and Sigmund being like the intellectuals and like going to talk to the scholars, and then Gwyll just like randomly like spying on people,
Stumbles upon things.
confirming everything we
Breaks up
just
the
learned,
entire
and
series,
like
yeah.
a whole
And
other
then some.
level. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We think the Huttons might be up to something. The Huttons are up to something.
The Huttons might actually be demons.
Yeah. Surprise!
I don't know which one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you sort of run the food back at the end. You've passed information in private in the rooms that you've hired out. Or used to be staying in the city. What's the next steps for the
Paranoia, I think.
Wait.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean,
Yeah, just oh boy, it got deeper.
so I assume we're somewhere quiet. We're not worried about being overheard.
Yeah, you're in
So-
the private room.
We assume that was Lord Brandon that you saw, but we never actually have seen the man, so we don't know the old place, but we probably was him. Considering.
Well, the soldiers that were there greeted
Yeah,
him saying
exactly.
without question.
So that's what I'm saying. We can pretty safely assume that that's who that was, and he was surrounded by what you would say they were personal bodyguards.
Personal bodyguards or
Gwyll, you said you recognized some of them from the gate, so they might have just been pulled forces.
Well, no, the men.
Oh,
wearing
the
masks.
masked ones. Yes.
Yes,
Well, maybe.
personal bodyguards wearing strange masks associated with one of the demon lords of the Hells.
just out of curiosity, the Demon Lord guy, the one that was on the armour, are they pally?
No.
No, you're like we're like to put it into, I don't know, an analogy that people may or may not get. The guy that you saw, the masks of is like Messi. The demon that we know Lord Fenny was associated with is like MLS football in the US. You know, that's the would that be a fairly correct analogy, Fate Weaver, of the difference in power scale between these two guys? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So one's 4th Division, one's Premier.
Yes, absolutely. One's Premier being scouted by Real. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah.
Now, if we had fought Glassler Labalus in the forest, it'd be a different story.
Oh, yeah, we'd be dead.
Do
It'd
you
be
know if
likely
the Premier League guys got any weaknesses?
I'd be
So
asking
robots?
Andy what happened to the scaling of this since I playtested.
Weaknesses.
He's vain.
Yes, that's the word on the street.
I mean, the demon lords don't have weaknesses per se.
None of them really like radiant.
Yeah, it's
Magic.
not like they have a nut allergy that we can exploit, you know?
If only it was that easy, my goodness. We solved this problem a long time
They're
ago.
gluten intolerant.
Yes, it's not so much they have weaknesses, more they have
None of them like radiant energy.
No.
But who does?
Well, on a nice day.
Only people.
Yeah.
It's not even surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, it tends to be a case of hit it until it dies. Even if demons are in good faith, that maybe they don't die and they just kind of become.
And she kind of just ends
Yeah,
up
but-
going into this,
So,
program.
Will, okay, this is going to sound like a very odd question, and maybe you can't even answer it. These men's faces were pretty much fully obscured, yes, by the masks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Were you fairly certain that they were human?
Ooh.
In as much as you could tell from your position while staying concealed and with their faces obscured.
They moved like a human, so take that as you will. But
Yes.
there wasn't any sign of any slithering, if you want to go that route.
No funny shadows moving on their own, or birds and animals fleeing from them in terror, or...
Weird smells.
Actually, yes,
Just
was
the flowery, perfumey smell.
a flowery, perfumey smell. Does that
What's-
ring any bells for me?
Oh,
Andy?
you've been hearing that a lot. The band
Yeah.
said about it.
That's what I was thinking. Like, we've definitely heard that before, but with my scholarly occultist background, am I making any links at all, or is just a weird thing that we're being told?
Seems to be connected to Orobas. Like, of all the demon lords, he's the one that really takes the most care of his personal hygiene.
Yeah, no. So
Well, you said, Gwill, how many did you say went in with Lord Brendan?
7 went in, 4 came out. As to the other 3, I don't know what happened to them.
7 went in, 4 came out.
Could be that, if McFeek is on the right lines, some of them might have been inhabited or sacrificed to bring forth.
Well, I did think that,
Yes,
but there wasn't any sign of blood on
My
it.
worry is that these men are not human bodyguards. That's my concern.
I mean, the greatest devil one must be careful of is the one that can walk among us. It's entirely plausible. I would hope that they would have more scrutiny upon the return to the manor, but if they had, they would go unnoticed.
High religious people in the city.
Segment.
Yes.
Once upon a time.
I met the Grand
Any
Maid.
chance for a blessing on me arrows and stuff? So if we get into trouble, at least I've got
Sigmund could
the
light a candle.
religion.
Yeah, I mean, any one of us could perform a rite.
Will you please?
That would. I can't do anything like that in enchantment around. Certainly, the Arcane Pact in the town, they may have something around that could enhance the weapon in such a way, if you've begrudged to pay for it, of course.
Yeah, that sounds expensive.
You were hoping for sort of more of a go forth, you are now protected by demons sort
Potentially.
of thing, huh?
Well, not protected by demons, protected from demons,
Oh,
more
yes,
like.
yes, of
But
course.
yeah, well, I was wondering if we've seen anything,
Certainly
how
there's
we're doing the
there are
work for the
some-
church, if they might not do us a freebie.
Well, oh, by the way,
Unfortunately, it does not work that way.
Delicious.
we would have told Gwill about the potential of a secret tunnel from the crypts into the estate as well.
Yes.
We would have made sure to tell Gwill that. And Annika as well, because they weren't there when we had the conversation with the Grand Matron. And Macfield was, look, we'll say to everybody that, and especially now with what Gwill has told us, I really feel that tonight when it is dark, we should try to enter the Hutton estate to try to find out what is happening there. What do you all think?
Yes.
But do we want to do that tonight, or do we want to wait to the day of the funeral?
Well, I mean,
The
I
day
mean-
of the funeral makes more sense because there's going to be less people about.
There'll be less people
and-
there, but I do
That
worry
is
that
true.
a large collection of people in one place is a very good opportunity to do something demonic.
Yeah, and
So
the
we
crypt
might
seems
want
like a better
to-
place to investigate tonight, just to double check.
We might want to sort of head. Yeah, if we go tonight, we might be able to head that off, or We might
But
wait
we'll
till the funeral and have an easier time getting in, but suddenly
I'm
there's
going to
a whole-
suggest we're extra cautious because if they're knocking around in masks, they're probably going to be somewhere where they're not going to be observed. So odds are it could be the
And
crypt.
if I may throw out a small theory, we have said that probably everyone's going to be gathered at the funeral.
Yep.
They might plan to do something at said funeral.
Yes.
That is my concern.
Everyone's
yes.
going to be gathered at the funeral.
Yes, if we wait for then, we'd have an easier time getting in, but we might come back out to a banquet of demons and, entrails and
Half the
flesh.
city slaughtered, so on and so
The
forth.
usual, yes. So, yeah, perhaps best we do go tonight and just look out for mud.
Okay.
But what do we... not to rain on the parade, what are we doing? I understand that we have perhaps a moral obligation to deal with Orobus, but what do we do if we get into the crypt and we end up in the Hutton estate and Orobus is there lording over the place?
I don't necessarily believe that the Lord will be there, but
No,
perhaps
no.
some of his minions will, and evidence of clear demonic activity, which if we can stop and then bring that evidence with us to the Grand Matron, then
Human
the-
sacrifices, blood stains all over the floor,
Sure,
like
glyphs
circles painted in
and-
blood,
yes,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
I get you.
And
Well-
supplying that evidence to the Grand Matron will mean the full power and authority of the temple will come crashing down on this noble family.
Oh, gosh, well, if it was the full power, then there wouldn't be a city left, but yes, I see
Yeah,
your
well,
point.
can I also suggest that we get an independent, at least one, if not two independents, to witness this so that
That's it,
it's
Karen.
not just us.
I was just thinking the same thing. Will we go
Yes.
and seek out Karen and see if she would be interested, and we'll tell her what we have learned?
I'd also suggest somebody from the faith that
We have six.
yes,
Sigmund's,
we've got
upstanding.
Sigmund, but with one of our own people.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
But she
When
knows.
you're inside the church, you're pretty inside. They tend to...
No, I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to
Yeah.
go and say something...
Oh, yeah.
no.
Yeah, I just don't want it
Like,
turned around that we're the ones that have caused all
The
this and behind it.
matron, the grand matron already kind of gave you the go-ahead to
yeah,
She's got the
She did.
back up.
investigate.
And
yeah.
I will, well, maybe not always positive. Most people in the church, the faith, the Temple of Light faith, like committed to the faith, know who Sigmund is.
Yeah,
And this is Sigmund saying this, like, to you all.
yeah.
You know who I am. It may not always be in a positive light, but I'm a
You're
member
also
of the
from
church.
this city as well, aren't you? So, like, you are
This
one
is
of
the high
her.
priestess who I've had disagreement with essentially.
Reputation goes a long way.
It was like, I have, yeah. And it's like, we've had a disagreement over interpretation of the faith, essentially. Which rather than stay in the temple and commit to the faith kind of thing. 'Cause,
Right.
like,
So there's
you know,
no
there's-
way that they're going to turn around and go, it's your fault, you're behind it.
No,
for
no,
an
no,
heretic."
They know I'm a committed member of the faith, we just have a disagreement on how I go about it.
You've already brought
Yes. Yeah.
your before this point, so like she's aware that you suspect something's going on. She has her own suspicions.
And she may or may not have hinted about crypts leading into the
It's sort of the, I'm not going to say go and do it, but go and do it.
If you wanted to.
Situation. Yes. Of which, do we need a key or something to enter the crypt?
I don't know. I know some places leave them open for respect. Some people don't.
Does anybody in the
Well,
party
seeing out as nobles, probably.
does anybody in the party have thieves' tools?
It would technically be a dexterity.
Yeah.
Should be capable of doing it, but it's not a specialism of his.
Like, those are the kind of items in Abbadon, just throwing it out there mechanically, which we don't really consider an item. If you are
Yeah,
someone-
like
Yeah, no,
if,
that's
if your
fair.
character's got a trait that would,
Yeah, it was like, was a stalker, but was explicitly more a thief type stalker. So it was like, yes, he's probably got something like
course.
that. Like if at least
Yeah.
a lockpick kind of
push
thing.
comes to shove, you can
Well, I
just
imagine
bash the gate.
Well, yeah, that was going to be me using lockpick, i.e. my boot.
I've also got the athletic trait, and one in strength if push
I
comes
mean,
to shove.
I'm sure there's also a Graves
Yeah.
tender who, a few groats and a key goes missing sort of thing, but...
Yeah, also an
Certainly.
approach that you
So,
can take.
tonight, shall we go
Under
break into
under
someone's...
cover of darkness.
Sounds like a fun time.
What could possibly go wrong?
You didn't... Oh, dear. I just, look out of the window.
The moonlight will bless us.
So the moonlight is
I look up at the red moon.
eerily red. It's like at this point it's maybe like a gibbous moon, like it's almost full but not
Yeah.
light.
Would it happen to be full by the time the funeral was happening by any chance?
Maybe thematically that makes sense.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You, the four of you head. And Karen, you're going to take Karen with you as
Yes.
just someone who is associated with the city and the Lord's house. To...
How much do we fill Karen in?
I would be happy to tell her everything as long as we're somewhere
Alright.
private. We won't be around. Because Macfia genuinely trusts her because I feel like we fought alongside her. She's proven herself. She's personally invested in this as well. She loved Lord Fenley, so
Yeah.
she wants to see justice for her lord. So I would be telling her everything.
Alright, I wouldn't stop you. I respect it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we just wait. Literally, we were just waiting till cover of darkness, and we were heading to the graveyard to try and get into the Hutton crypt.
Yeah, Karen, as soon as you tell her, takes a bit of time to put her armour on, grabs her sword. She'll follow you. But yeah, you head to the crypt. Can I get a wisdom or dexterity test from people?
Okay.
And then make it a wisdom one for me.
We'll go in order. We'll start with Ari and work our way around like the order that we introduced ourselves in.
Okay. Oh, it's not looking good. 2 aces.
Oh,
And a queen. We're fine. Everything's fine.
okay, yep, 13,
Ooh.
all good. Okay, Neil,
I also have wisdom 1, so that's 3 cards, isn't it?
yep, 3 cards.
Ooh, is that a suit success for me?
Nah, it's clubs.
Yeah, clubs. I was gonna
This is
start
looking
with
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
That's a 9. That's 2 successes.
Yep, that is 2 successes.
Yes.
Okay, Mouser, dexterity or
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, I've got 3 and 8.
Draw your 3 cards. Not a
I'll risk
success.
it for a biscuit.
Yep, okay,
There you go.
7, 6, 13. Okay, I think there's like a total of 5 successes amongst the party so far.
I think we're doing fine.
Right, regardless of
Yep.
what you draw here, Roddy, you're
Yeah.
good.
Super,
What is it?
super.
I had a small
Don't screw
disconnection
it up.
issue there. What is it with
Wisdom or dexterity.
Cool. Well, I've got no score in either, so I think it's just a standard draw.
Single draw.
Oh, 2 cards. 13.
Cards. 13, yeah. Number 1, an ace. And number 2, an 8.
It's okay. Between the rest of the party, there was enough
Yeah.
Yeah.
enough warning.
Yeah.
So, as the party venture into the graveyard, and it's huge, it's a massive sprawling cemetery that's been here probably since the early days when this was like a fishing village before it even grew into a city. But there are 7 prominent crypts within the graveyard here. They're easy to identify because they're all adorned with like the sigils and stuff of the
Yeah.
individual clans. So finding the one with the hand with a snake wrapped around it for house hunting isn't too difficult. But as you're approaching, everyone apart from Sigmund can hear the grinding of stone on stone. And as you look up, you can see the gargoyles perched on top of the crypt stretch their wings and lift off into the sky before swooping down towards the 5 of you.
So the gargoyles specifically over the hut and crypt
Yeah.
have come alive.
As if they've been set there as guardians of the crypt. I do have tokens, they're here. Okay. You have noticed this ambush is coming, so I'm going to lay out the gargoyles first, and then you and choose what positions you're wanting to start combat in.
What's the difference between distant and reserved again?
Reserved is you're still technically in melee combat, but you're just fighting a little bit more defensively.
Okay.
While reserved is you're properly keeping your distance, so you
Yeah,
can-
okay, so I would be still sticking with distant.
Yeah.
More concentrated on defense than offense, essentially.
yeah, well, distance is you're focused on ranged
Range.
attacks.
Yeah, no, that would just me.
My levels are low. Let me put that back.
Oh yeah, everybody can pop themselves back up.
No, mine's right.
I
I'm gonna move into aggressive for now.
Of course you do.
I'll move away if I need to. Look,
you know how I do.
Reserved.
I go into aggressive. I do some damage. I get my ass kicked. I retreat.
That's just how hexings play the game.
Real hands. Again with the king. We're making it happen.
These are the initiatives from last time, so it's not.
Yeah. We're about to draw.
You.
Worse. Much worse. Oh no.
Gargoyles of Earth. They are champion gargoyle. Okay. Extra initiative. Six. Okay, King of Hearts. Segment Hanukkah. Okay. So McFish, you are up first.
Okay, so if I cast Flickering Flame on Annika, I can still attack with my quarterstaff, can't I?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast Flickering Flame on Annika, so she is wreathed in a aura of fire to help protect them Okay, I have done this before, and you were very thankful of it the last time I did it. Okay.
Yes, and I have a feeling I will be again.
Yes. So, it's I think 2 points of fire damage, 1 plus my rank, so that's a rank of 1, so that's 2 points of fire damage to any target who comes into melee with you. Okay, and then I will use my primary action to attack this gargoyle that is beside Annika.
Okay. So accuracy on your staff is 1. Draw 3 cards for me, please. Target number is 12 to 14 because you're in distance.
Mm-hmm.
Strong start.
A lot of high cards.
Very
So
high
what's
cards.
that's 10.
10 and 7.
So
Yeah.
10, so it was 12 to what was it? 16, wasn't it?
12 to 14.
Oh, 12 to 14. Okay, can I tempt the fates and draw another card?
Yep.
Ooh. Oh, another 10?
Oh, well.
All 3 10s in the first draw?
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
If the next card that gets drawn is another
Um,
10, I'm going to go crazy.
So, gain a point of stress,
Yeah.
Neil.
Yeah.
Where do we record that on the character sheet?
It's a little greyish
on your
bubble.
on your token and roll
Purple.
20. It's the purple
Yeah.
bubble.
Okay.
It's not on the character sheet because it's optional.
Oh,
Optional
okay.
roll. Yeah.
Ah, okay, right.
Purple is the
Um,
colour of stress.
Were we playing in person, we'd probably use counters for something for it.
Yeah.
I take
Um,
shots.
So-
it's annoying that I missed.
Gargoyle here is going to swerve that magical energy from your staff and swoop towards you instead of Annika.
No, I never said they could do that.
Hang on a second.
Hold on.
Like, it's not going to do any damage to you, but the sudden movement is enough to knock you down. You're not down. Well,
I think I'm going to aim a shot.
which gargoyle?
Probably the one that's getting ready to beat the crap out of my comrade there.
Okay, so this one again. Oh, so you're going to drop to... What rank is your aim shot? 1 or 2?
My aimed is, I believe, 1 at the minute.
You're going to drop to...
Oh crap! I forgot to throw out my noxious concoctions.
Well, I'll save you... Save you
They're made of
the,
stone.
the effort. They're made of stone, so they're immune
Yeah.
to poison.
Well, worth a thought.
That's a shot.
It happens.
Yeah. All good.
I
They,
can
they,
imagine
they,
my
they would have been
BB
immune
skills.
anyway. Yeah, they're immune to
Yeah.
bleeding
Okay
as
then.
well.
Well, it's
so-
just going to be the aim shot at level 1.
Yeah, you're taking time to aim this gargoyle. This gargoyle is, however, going to swoop at McFeach now that he is on the ground.
Ooh.
You still have your 2 cards to defend yourself with. So draw 2 cards for me, please, Neil.
Okay. Not good.
That's 8.
Watch when we just get wiped by these gargoyles. We don't even get inside the crypt.
These gargoyles, I think, are fairly nasty.
Yeah,
And the matron just finds our bodies in the
I
morning. Huh?
remember.
Well,
Okay, so Neil, you're going to gain another point of stress. The gargoyle is going to hit you for 8 physical damage. And the claws being made of stone mean that they have armor piercing 4.
4?
Mm.
Oh no. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
What is your armor, Neil?
I just wear a robe, so I think it's
What?
like
Okay,
it's
so
1 or
you-
something, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're taking the full 8 damage.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Probably should have stripped those outriders.
This other gargoyle, seeing that Gwyll is distracted aiming at this one, is going to swoop at him. So Gwyll, if you could draw me your 2 cards as well.
Great. Here we go. I'm going to be flat on my back in a minute.
Your target number is 12 to 14 though, because you've got dexterity 1.
Okay. Sorry, I've got to move the turn order. It's blocking my view. There we go. And I'm risking it for a biscuit, I think.
Oh, bad first round. Oof.
Okay. 6, 5, that's 11,
13.
13 exactly.
Hang on.
You pushed fate, so it will count as being your suit, which is handy.
Yep.
So you're going to take 6 damage minus your armor.
Right, I've just got to check
Yeah,
what
well,
the armour is.
Armor minus 4, because you're piercing. I think you're just wearing leather. You might no, I think you've got a cap on as well, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a cap, yeah. I've got a leather cap, and I've got socketed leather of strength. So that's 4. And I take that off 4. So
Yeah, so that'll be
Damn.
6 damage.
Ew. That's not handy. Don't like that.
This gargoyle,
Mm-hmm.
going for the man of faith.
Yep.
You've got a shield,
Oh,
Roddy?
even more.
I do, yes.
You've got a nice shield now, don't you?
I've got a nicer shield, yes.
Yeah, you've got four cards to defend
4
yourself with.
cards. Cool. Card 1. A joker. Card 2. Is it 3?
Yep.
And card 4. Is a 9.
There, we'll take it.
Have you got? You don't have anything dexterity. Do you have
don't
anything
know.
with the defensive trait?
I do not know.
So you're looking for a
Is it
13.
Joker time?
Yeah, yeah. I am taking that joker as my king.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of shield is it you've got? Is that a buckler?
I've got the Targe of the Storm, which with the Bloodstone I put in it last time does 3 counter.
So you're going to do 6 damage to this gargoyle as it
Ooh,
comes
yeah.
in at you.
Damn.
It does also have +4 lightning damage, but as they are gargoyles, I don't know if that does much anything.
Only really applies to your attacks.
Oh, attacks.
not
Attacks,
yeah.
never mind. That's right,
But yeah, as this gargoyle glides down at you, you kind of drive your shield into it. The spike in front of the targe cracks through stone
Yeah.
as you kind of push it back.
Mm-hmm.
Gwyll, you can let loose that shot now.
Well, that's the theory. So that's what, 2 cards.
The cards, but you're like 10 to.
Good old aim shot.
Yeah.
There's one of them. That's a what? That's an 8
Okay. There you go.
and a 3.
There you go.
Is a hit. What's the lowest damage on your?
3.
Is 4. If you got anything that adds elemental damage, is it?
Yeah.
Is it how much haste damage?
It's 3.
That's Yeah. And does very, very little.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna bounce right off this guy, but
Yep. First thing I'm going to do is activate my new skill that I have just learned. Reflection.
Shield begins to shimmer with light.
Yes, so for 1+ rank, so for two 1+ rank turns, so it's 2 turns for me. Any damage will be reduced by that rank, and any enemies who strike me will take radiant damage equal to that rank. And then I will thrust my spear towards the gargoyle that just attacked me.
Cool. You've got 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking for.
I've got 1 in strength.
Yeah, so 12 to 14.
Yeah. Cool. Card 1. Card 2.
That is a 12.
There's 12 already.
Card 3.
12 of hearts. So that is a success.
woohoo!
Yep.
So what is the second level of damage on the spear?
Second level of damage on the spear is 3.
Yeah. Plus your strength.
Plus strength, which is 1. And then, does the +4 lightning damage do anything to them?
Plus 4 lightning damage.
+4 lightning damage from my charge of the
Well,
storm.
it will do a little bit of damage to it.
Yeah, a little bit extra. Aye.
It's just a little zap.
Yeah. So the spear itself doesn't actually do too much to it, but like the lightning sort of sparking off the tip of the spear, channeling from the shield, does chip a little bit of the stonework away from this gargoyle.
Good.
Yeah, Annika.
Ooh, well, I kind of imagine these things don't have much blood to bleed, so forget that.
You'd be
I-
correct.
I don't feel much coursing through their veins because they don't have those. I will.
We might do. Stone veins.
I'll try and find some. I'm going to go ahead and hit the gargoyle and aggressive with frailty.
Yep.
We'll just do a little one of those.
What is the this one?
Out of both their AR and ER.
So
Lash at it with my sickle.
yeah, +1 accuracy of the sickle, and you're an aggressive, so you have 4 cards.
I don't. And I'm not ahead in the turn order,
So you're looking for it.
so we're just hoping. We've got a jack. A jack.
That's 13.
And a joker.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got a jack and a 2 of spades, which gives you a jack 6-er, but you could, if you would,
To get an additional success if you want to.
If I was, it's just, if I had used, my thin blood attack, that would have been great, but again, I've hit it with frailty, but even max damage on a, because even if I go for a king of my suit, the bleed on my sickle doesn't.
what's the damage so far?
That's quite
That would be
significant.
8. You know what? I'll take the Joker as well.
Is that including the +2 from being aggressive?
That's not actually, no.
And it's also not including the +3 for my Ring of the Imp. So we'll go ahead and take 2 successes, and I'm sure we'll come back to
So what is the
uh,
third level of damage for the
yes.
cycle?
Third level's 5, then it's +2 from aggressive, and then 3 fire damage from Ring of the Imp.
Seems to be doing something. And then 10 damage.
10, and then yes, another 3.
Okay. Inflict this gargoyle with frailty. You can see the rocks starting to kind of crumble and things like that before you even strike it. And then you quickly slash it twice with the sickle, which clatter onto the hard ground of the cemetery. So yeah, pretty decent amount of damage to the gargoyle.
If there's a vein in here, I'll
Dish out initiative again.
Oh my god.
Okay. What was that, right?
Good.
Annika, you're in. Is anybody changing position?
I'm staying as far back as possible.
No, I'll stay where I am.
One other thing. So I am in reserve, which has +1 to initiative, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Good point, good point.
It just.
It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't make a difference, but second.
I'm up first. Yeah. Right. I will. Yeah, this just stab for the same one I attacked last time.
3 cards,
Three cards.
14.
Yeah. Card 1. Card 2. There's a 5.
Okay.
And card 3. A 9.
Yeah, you've got a 9-5. The spear itself doesn't do much, but the little shards of lightning break off a few more chunks of stone.
Yeah.
Annika.
I mean,
Oh, this thing's gonna take 2.
Yeah.
oh yeah, someone. Second verse, same as the first. I will. Do I want to drop another frailty somewhere? I'm just going to stab at this guy again. I'm gonna start aiming for the cracks in the stone and see if I can't
You've
really
got 4
split it.
cards. This time you are ahead of it on the initiative, so you are 12 to 14.
Let's see what we get. That's a king.
1 hit.
Let's see if we have anything more. And a 5. Well, can't win them all. I'll take the king.
Okay. Yes, what's the lowest damage on your...
That is 2 damage. 4 with the aggressive, and then 3 fire damage.
Okay, so the sickle this time doesn't do much to the gargoyle, but the flames still seem to burn and dry and char the stonework. Okay.
Well, I think I'm gonna. Yeah.
Not gonna make much difference this time, so yeah, you draw your card.
Oh.
Which one are you aiming at this
The
time?
one that's trying to get me. So I draw 3 cards again, is it?
2 cards, but you're like 10 to 16. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep, 15, that's a hit. Gain the crossbow bolt, however, doesn't.
Yes, that's 3 plus 3 ice, so that's
Is it
6
the lightning
damage,
damage
I suppose.
kick in as well, though, or am I mixing things up? Oh,
I've
yeah,
not got
sorry,
lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't someone have a
damage on my
Oh, I
cold
do have the
damage
plus
thing?
1
Frost,
strength,
that's what
though.
it was, sorry.
Frost damage.
Frost
That's
damage.
what it was, yeah.
I
thank
knew
you.
there was
Good
some
thinking
elemental
there.
thing,
You're like,
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the frost damage and I've got a plus 1 to
That's
strength.
dexterity for range attacks, but yeah, you've got 1 strength. So, dexterity as well.
Okay, so
You're knocked down.
that's the first thing. I'm prone on the ground, so I have to get
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Is that like my full action or what?
That is your full
Yeah.
whack.
So is that all I can do for the turn?
Yep.
That is not
Okay.
good. Yes.
Yep. Conditions are nasty.
Yeah, that's tough.
Gargoyles.
Understandable, really.
Yes.
Can't blame you.
Think back to the first play test.
Do you have a shield on it?
I do. I have a buckler. Oh boy. Oh no, I've got a round shield. I need to actually.
So that means you're 12.
Well, that's something happens. 3 cards, you said? We've got an 8. A 6.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
success in there.
Yeah.
That would have 6 damage as well, which is
Ouch.
disgusting.
That's very bad.
This gargoyle at the back, splitting towards Gwill again. You've got 2 cards, but you're 12 to 14.
Okay, here's hoping for something super duper I could do with it. I don't want any more wounds. Oh, well, we got that one, which is
Good
a 10 and a 2.
12, yep.
Very
Okay,
nice.
so you're also going to take 6
Oof.
damage. And the gargoyle and reserved on Sigmund.
Yes.
You have 4 cards.
Mm-hmm. Card 1. An ace. Start strong. Card 2. A 4. Card 3. An 8. Oh, that's 13 that I've got now.
Mm-hmm.
And card 4 is a 5.
It's something. It's coming to my attention. I really should have bought some health potions.
So, yeah, no success for you. I've cancelled that.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So you're going to take a point of stress.
Mm-hmm. I guess I got rid of one last time as well because I counted the Joker as
yep.
my king.
You're going to
That was the
take,
breaks. So-
8 damage.
So I currently, so I know it's piercing, but I currently have AR 5
Oh,
for being in reserved, and I will take 1 less damage because I have reflection on.
Okay, so you're going to take 6 damage then.
6. Yeah.
And it's going to take a point of radiant damage.
Yes, it is. Mm.
Ooh.
Okay. Right, recall. Shuffle.
Boom.
Yo. Okay. 6. Well. Oh, that is a bad round of initiative for folks. Gwyll, you're up first.
Gonna have to do the aim shot again. One of these days it will pay off.
Have you got any other skills?
Just the gas, but that's not going to do anything against them.
I think what you really need to make it better is just a better bow, essentially.
So I'm drawing 2 cards. I'm 3 cards or 2?
Two.
3, because 2. Sorry.
2, but you're like 10 to 16, so you've got quite a wide. That's a hit.
And there we go.
Okay, it's going to do a little bit of cold damage. Your bolts are bouncing off, but you can see like the little webs of frost appearing on the stonework every time you shoot it with a crossbow bolt.
Alright.
Oil. Going for Annika again.
Oh no.
Draw me your free cards.
Is it just 2 now because I used
Oh
one?
no, it's a new round of combat.
Oh, new round. Okay, thank you. I lost track in all the numbers and being hit. Let's see if I survive this time. Another king! Hooray!
Oh, that's a king.
My king, no
spades.
less.
That's your king, yes.
Ooh. And a 15. Well, that doesn't do anything, but that's fine. With king, hooray!
The king of spades is enough for you to, as this thing comes gliding in at you again, you bring your shield up and just sort of crack it in the head. And you see the bat-like nose sort of shatter, and then the head disintegrates, and then it crumbles into a pile of rock.
Yes! Get the counter.
I look over at Sigmund and just go, I learned it from watching you.
Yes.
This one, changing priority. It is also going to go for Annika.
Oh, I just had a good moment.
You just smash that one gargoyle and turn and see this other one gliding at you. You've got 2 cards now.
Yes, I do. Hey, could I have another king? That was really nice. 11 won't cut it. Do I want to push fate? Oh, I'd need like a 1. I don't have any health potions, so... I mean, even if I block it, I'm still going to take 6 damage, so I'll just take the damage.
I take 8 damage then if you're unblocking it, and point of stress.
Fine. It's fine, I'm almost dead, it's fine.
And then this one again, going for Sigmund up close.
Yes.
4.
4 cards. Yeah. Card 1. A 10. Good start. Card 2. A queen. Card 3 is a 3. And card 4 is a jack.
Nice spread.
Yeah. There's a 13 in there at the very least.
There is a
so
13 in there, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be 6, but you've got enough armour to actually...
I've currently got AR5, but they've got the armor piercing, don't they, you said?
Yeah, got armour piercing 4. So it'll knock your reflection and armour will knock it down to 4 damage, and this gargoyle will take another point of
Radiant.
Radiant. Cool. Okay. Sigmund, you're up.
I'm up. Cool. Just gonna stab at it really at this point. That's all I'm aiming to do at the moment. Is that, how many cards is that for me? 3 cards,
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm 12 to 14 because I'm strength 1.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah. Card 1 is a 9. Card 2 is a 5, so that's a 14.
Yep.
And card 3 is a 9.
So again, chipping away at it again with a little bit of lightning damage. Annika.
Phew, well, things are going well. I will. How damaged is the one Sigmund's engaged with looking?
Pretty crumbled.
Okay, I won't waste a frailty on there then. But I will throw one on the one that's distant.
Yeah. Real.
Smoke them if you've got them.
Unfortunately, you can't attack this one with your sickle.
I cannot indeed, so I'm going to go and attack the one engaged with Sigmund.
Okay. 4 cards.
Does that
Oof.
mean that one takes flame damage as well?
It will.
Ooh, okay, well that's something at least.
That's 13.
That is indeed. We'll take it. Ooh.
Yep. Okay. Your minimum damage.
Is a mere 2, but it does take the 3 damage from Ring of the Imp.
And then the additional from being in aggressive and all that as well.
Oh yes, true, yes. So, apologies, 4 total, and then the extra 3.
Yeah, the sickle doesn't do much physically, but you do leave some scorch marks on the stone.
Well, I'm toasting them.
McFeach.
Okay, so first things first, because I've seen these creatures take fire damage when they attacked Annika, lightning damage from the Tarj or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And did they take so basically, have I been able to tell which is more effective, lightning or fire?
Neither is more effective, but they are definitely less resilient to elemental attacks than physical attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now none of them are directly engaged with me though, are they?
No.
Okay, cool. Then in that case, I am going to use my new spell, Shock, which a small bolt of lightning strikes your enemy, inflicting 3 plus rank, which is 4 points of electrical damage. Okay.
Draw.
Hold on.
Who you going
Oh, sorry, apologies.
for? Sigmund's.
Yeah, the one engaged
Okay,
with
well,
segment is a
then I
lot
guess
more.
I'm going for that one, okay? So I'm drawing 3, haven't I?
Yeah, 3 cards. You're looking for
12 to
12.
15.
Oh, by the way, you're in distance.
Oh, great.
Doable.
That's
I think it's only 1 success, isn't it? What's the other? What's that? That's a 7.
That's, you got something.
1 success. It's 1 success. So, yeah.
no, it's just so well be
So it's standard,
shock.
which is what was this? 3 plus rank, so that is 4 points of lightning damage. Electrical damage.
Well be 5.
I do have 1 on wisdom. Yeah, sorry.
If you've got any
Sorry.
items that give you power or sundering or
No,
anything like
literally.
that.
I'm quite the minimalist. Okay. I'm.
Still enough, like
Yeah.
the lightning bolt's still enough to blast a few.
Great.
It's your reflectable and body. Like inflame will be as well.
So.
And
Right.
let's and oh yeah. So segment you're
Yes,
up
I am.
first. It's going to actually move.
Alright.
It can, but
Just
it's,
the way you want
it's choosing to be more violent.
Yeah. Cool.
Choosing violence.
Don't we all?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's going to add an extra 2 damage.
Yeah, why not? You've taken hits.
The Disciples Might activated.
Yeah.
And attacking.
Yes.
You've got 4 cards now that
Yeah.
you're an aggressive.
Yes.
And you're 12 to 14.
12 to 14. Card 2.
You love starting off your attack to
Card
bases.
3.
Eight.
Nice. And card 4.
That's 13 in total.
We love a 4 card.
But,
That's brutal.
let's add that.
Okay.
That was a hit anyway.
Spear, 2 from aggressive, 2 for Disciples
Yeah.
Might,
It's not
2 from the
nothing.
1 for strength.
1 from strength.
That's let's go. Yeah, between the you just you're able to thrust the spear right through the stone and shatter this gargoyle into pieces.
Nice. One left.
Okay, and it goes.
On it, and we're gonna try and stab with the sickle. It's gonna go great.
4 cards. You're ahead of it in initiative, so you're 12 to 9.
Hello.
Ah,
Always good when
well,
you're close to the end.
always useful. You can mop it up.
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah.
Ooh.
Adjustable. I'm aiming for a 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could have 2
Yeah.
successes.
Okay.
Success, yeah. Yeah.
I could have 1 success here. Appreciate it.
Are using
I
it
will
as
use it
a
as a
king. What is
I
the
should-
maximum damage on your sickle is 10? The maximum damage on your sickle while you're an aggressive is 10.
Maximum aggressive
Would be 10, yes, and then the 3 fire damage. And it would bleed, but it doesn't.
6 from the sickle. Just 1 fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still up. It's now like
Missing an ear, that kind of thing.
Quill.
Right, well, it's got to pay off at some point, so
Aim.
let's aim it
It's not
again.
gonna set you behind the gargoyle. That's good. So draw your 2 cards.
finish it off.
Just adjust my points from me too.
Go.
And it's going to do bugger all for me. That's a 5.
Oof.
And a magic will,
Okay.
No, you're good,
That's
you're
a
good.
12. That's a hit.
That's, yeah. That's 13.
right, but that's going to do next to nothing, I'm
so-
assuming.
Those 3 damage. You've got 1 from your dexterity. Yep.
And
the frost.
3 ice.
So it's gonna do
Okay.
Finally. So
because the frailty is resistance. Cool.
Thank you.
So
Andy.
yeah, that arrow seems to do a little bit more. This gargoyle is up and has
Annika gestures at the cloth around her eyes. Don't hit me, I can't see you.
means it's gonna go frantic.
Well, yes, I suppose.
3 cards.
Glowing!
Sick with his like
Big
I have
electric shield.
activated the sideboss might.
I am the much more obvious.
12 to 14.
Okay, well, we're fine. Everything's fine. Wait, I might not be far. You gonna do anything about that? Yeah, I thought you were gonna do something about that. Alright, well... Bully.
Push fate, you can
I am actually going
cast the
to...
balloon.
I'm gonna cast the...
How much do I want to do it? Because this could very well kill me. It'd be 6 to go for a full hand. Jack's tough, 11. Would I be better off keeping that or the 4?
Hmm.
'Cause, I mean, with the Jack, I'd need a 1, a 2, or a 3, which isn't bad. Yeah, I wish I'd counted the deck as we were going. I'll keep the Jack and wipe away the 4, and we'll see if I need to push fate.
Okay, draw your card.
Let's see what I get. Great. Cool.
That did not benefit you
It
at
did
all.
not help me out at all, so let's just push fate and see what happens. If I go down, I go, come on! Really?
Oh,
That's insulting.
Okay.
The Joker came back to get me. Fate turned against me. It would happen.
Take stress.
Yeah.
Fates do be fickle.
It
Take
does.
10 points of damage and another point of stress.
I don't want to scare anyone. I had 11 health a second ago.
Macfiach, you are up.
Right.
Now
I'm
to spend your
thinking-
next turn taking a healing potion.
I don't have one.
I do. Can I give?
We should maybe have gone shopping first.
Could I give? I have a minor life potion. Could I give it to Annika? Like,
Do
does
you
that-
have it on a belt?
I did buy a belt. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. No, I bought a belt in the city there, so it is on a belt. So
I-
in terms of action economy, how does that work?
I'll treat it as an auxiliary skill, so you could do it and still attack your staff, but you couldn't use anything like shock or gust or anything.
Okay, well then that's what I will do. I will whichever
Which
narratively makes the most sense. I
It's
will
still
do
technically
first.
beneficial because your ranged attack with your staff is magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a
So
physical
I'll attack with my staff first of all, and then charge over to Annika, which will probably then put me into aggressive, will it? Because I'll
You
be
won't need
beside
to move. It's the
No.
stances are more how you're choosing to fight. So
Oh, sorry. So
Yeah.
the,
Abbadon
and then
doesn't
hand.
have movement figured in.
yeah,
It's something
you're
you
all
also have
good.
to remember.
You don't need to
We
change
are-
position.
Okay.
We are
so,
always moving. Is the best way to look at
Oh,
it.
that's such a better way of doing things.
Yes, it really is.
It really is. I love systems that either have really fun movement and nation mechanics, or just ignore them entirely. It's the best way to do it, you know. Says the guy with the boring D20 D&D style.
I mean, it's a lot of really cool, like, mix
But,
stuff, which has some really cool movement systems in there. Which
Yeah. Well, sorry, we're distracting from the
Yes.
game. Sorry.
So-
So I thought it was two.
three cards.
You know.
No,
You've got accuracy
in terms of hold on, sorry, just let me check. So I have Dex 0.
Yeah, but staffs have one accuracy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, sorry. I'm used to working off wisdom more so than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm drawing 3, but it's still 13 I need to get, isn't it?
Because you're in
Oh, 'cause
distance,
my
it's
distance is
12 to 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There you go.
That's 12.
12?
Very
Okay.
nice.
Great, so that's a success. Now, let me pull up my stats for the staff. It doesn't do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's
Two.
two
That's
to
it,
match
yeah.
it.
But I hand one of my. I think I just have the one. I have one minor life potion, which I will hand to Annika.
Yeah, Annika, you can get an amount of health back to your health.
I'm debating on whether I don't take that, maximum do 6 damage, and I will only get 3 health back from that pot. So, like, regardless of where I'm at, I'm on death's door, even if I take the potion. So it might
Hide in the
be
back.
just holding. I might just shuffle myself away next.
Because that's
Because,
that's to the end of the round, so you can change
That's
position.
it. Like, it's really it. I wouldn't want to wait till it'll die to a hit. So I appreciate it.
Slightly less dead.
Yeah, I'd only have half.
You'd be in a better position if you once you
Yeah,
stayed
yeah.
into the script.
So yeah, I'll just gently
Okay.
push it away. They better use some people who won't die immediately.
Okay. Anybody changing positions?
Yes.
I'm staying at distance because
Experiment.
everybody hide behind Sigmund.
Yeah. Fight the shiny one.
Is that the new initiative order?
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's
Yes,
nice.
that is very nice.
That's really nice.
That's good.
Well, you're up
I'm
first.
gonna do the usual. I'm gonna aim a shot at him.
Okay, draw your 2 cards.
Drawing them, and there we go. That's card 1. Way. Card 2. Thank goodness.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
That is a hit.
Take it.
2 damage because it's a moment to aim, shoot. The arrow again seems to shatter into this gargoyle, knocking it out. Segment.
Four cards.
4 cards.
Card 1.
Yeah.
Good start.
10.
2.
Is it 11 you need? 12.
There's a 12.
12 to 14.
And card 4. A jack.
That's 2 successes, isn't it?
No, the jack's an 11.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
there's a success in there.
It's a success.
It's still like 2, 4, 6, 7. I think that's enough to finish that off.
Yeah, so it's 1 from strength, 4 lightning damage.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it all adds up.
similar to the last one, like, is like Annika backs off, like maybe to hide behind a tombstone or something. The gargoyle turns to through its back and it shatters into you could all recover amount of health and mana equal to
Yay!
3.
So I am now on. So I regain 5 mana, and I regain 2 hit points.
5
Yeah,
health
love to
points,
see it.
2 mana.
Yes. So yes, I'm now on 6 on a scale of 1 to 12. I'm on a 6.
Half health.
Half health.
Yeah, like that opening round, like I
Yeah.
got 8 points of damage, and I only have 12 hit points. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
In the position I am currently in with health, if we start the next fight and you look at your extra damage,
Yeah, that's some damage.
I'm down by 5.
To make this quick, I'm going to draw quickly for
Does anyone
items.
know if the potion store is still open at this hour? Just we could fly in.
Why am I getting all straight?
Ooh.
There you go, spades, yeah.
I'm going to treat that first, but I drew it as.
Cool.
Okay.
Spike Club. Of the Butcher. Spike Club that does a little bit of blade damage.
The blade test and how long Matt carried that spike club for.
Oh, for so long. Well, that is a bow treat. I know I'm struggling to do any damage. So that's a 10 of spades, which is a lot of growths.
Yay.
Like, and the chaos of like fighting the gargoyles. Like one of the gargoyles had this club, presumably. It looks like it's maybe enchanted. But like amongst the shattered urns and pots and decorations that are now around the graveyard, there are 500.
What?
Oh yes!
What?
500 smackaroos.
Yeah.
And a piece of turquoise.
Oh, very nice.
A piece
That's
of
what,
what?
125 gross
turquoise.
each.
Yes.
Right. So,
Good lord.
my first question: would anyone mind if I took the spike club?
Not by all
all
means,
yours.
please.
I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, you in the back. Haha.
Yeah. Spiked, because spike clubs do piercing,
Ooh.
which means they would actually have been very good against the gargoyles.
It would have
Yeah.
been good against the gargoyles.
It's one of those perfect times where the villain is holding the thing that will defeat them.
Yes.
Yeah, they've got a piercing 1, so it would have.
'Cause it's piercing 1, does more damage than my short spear does.
Yeah.
Across, like it's like 1 damage up across every single level.
Every tier, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this
so-
one also does magic stuff too.
Ooh.
So yeah, you guys have defeated these gargoyles. There's the remains of broken statues and pots and urns and stuff all over the place. And you're now standing in front of the rusted iron gates to the Hutton family crypt. And this seems like a good point to leave off the adventure.
Love it.
Yes.
Before you descend in and we do our dungeon crawl. Diablo-esque dungeon crawl of the game.
Really hope there's a health potion in a pot in the first room.
But yeah, that's us. We're all done. Thanks for everybody that joined us in the chat. I believe there's a congratulations in order for Neil, but we'll
Thank
get
you.
to that
Yes.
when it comes to it. So we'll go around the opposite order. Roddy, say your thank yous, say where people can
Yes.
find you. We'll
As always, PunkDrum77 on pretty much any social media that you might look on, you will find me. I've not been very active in any of them for this past week because I was down in Manchester for Manchester Punk Festival, watching a lot of bands and not getting very much sleep. But I have various plans in the works for internet-based stuff coming up soon because I very recently got a new position in work, which will be starting in a few weeks, which will see me move to a Monday to Friday 9 till 5. Which
Ooh.
means
Wow.
evenings will be much more open to do internet-based stuff. in the
Evenings
future.
and weekends. That
And
sounds
weekends.
pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the Dolly Parton shift. You'll love to see it.
Awesome. Thundermouser.
Right, yeah, as usual. Catch me on Twitter, at Thundermouser. Little bit upset with Roddy now because he didn't invite me to go see all them bands just down the road from me.
Sorry.
So, still, I suppose we'll have to send something up to Scotland, like a club, to teach him a lesson. But yeah, just catch me on as Thundermouser. I'm normally about, and been fun having time to enjoy the game with yourselves.
Cool. Neil.
Hi everybody, I am Neil. More commonly you will find me at Fayearth on Twitter and Blue Sky Basically, that's where I am. Mostly on Twitter. And I'm sorry if I was a bit distracted, but about 25 minutes ago, I found my Kickstarter got fully funded, so
Nice.
that still hasn't sunk in. But if you would like to play in a amazing 19th century world filled with fae, based heavily on folklore, you could still back it if you want to get what's going to be a really, really... I'll be spending an obscene amount of money on my art budget, let's just say. Okay.
As you should.
It's going to be a beautiful book, okay?
Oh, yes.
But thank you all. Yes.
Awesome. And last but not least, Ariane.
Hi, Ariane. I don't think I said at the beginning, pronouns are she, they. You'll find me on pretty much any social media as @LuckyLeafTeas or on www.luckyleafteas.com if you would like to try any of my delicious teas and herbal blends. Also, if you'd like to actually try them and explore in person, I'll be making an appearance at St. Bartholomew's Church in Brighton on Saturday the 6th of April. That's this coming Saturday. With Craft and Flea's little craft market that's happening there this weekend. So if anyone's able to make it, hope to see you there.
Awesome. And yeah, Andy, Lost Heaven Art. Find me everywhere, Lost Heaven Art. And we'll see you again next Wednesday at the same time. And you can catch all the stuff I'm doing in the background. Tend to post mostly on Twitter, but I'm in threads for reasons.
Reasons.
But yeah, thanks everybody who joined us, everybody who worked. Always appreciate it, and we'll catch you next